Good morning students, welcome back to our chapter 2 part 2. I hope you all have seen your part 1 of chapter 2. So here are some pronunciation drill from your chapter. The first one is make 21 bison. Shorty lieutenant. Here F is not here but we will pronounce it lieutenant. Empowerment cockpit squadron. So let's proceed to our main chapter. This chapter basically based on Avni Chaturvedi's life and how she achieved big in her life. So before reading the main paragraph, I'll explain you some meanings. Here are some words are there. See, supersonic, it means having a speed that is greater than the speed of sound. That means this fighter jet can fly a speed more than the speed of sound, and its name was MiG-21 Bison. So MiG-21 Bison is a type of fighter plane. So what happened was on this day, 19th February 2018, the girl Avni Chaturvedi took off a supersonic fighter jet and she took off from Jamnagar Air Force Station in Gujarat. And this flight lasted for 30 minutes. That means circled in the air for 30 minutes and then it came back to the land. And that day the sky and weather was perfectly fine for supersonic jet to fly. Now next paragraph. Here sortie means a flight that is handled by a single person, and routine training means on regular basis, and it was a regular day. Why? Because these kinds of sortie they have been carried out for on regular basis for regular practices. But one thing was different on that day. What was it? The thing was that Avni Chaturvedi, the flying officer, she took the fighter jet for the first time, that too all alone. And that is why at the tender age of 24 years, this girl Avni Chaturvedi, she became the first Indian woman to fly a sortie who all by herself and to all alone, and it was a big achievement for her and for whole country. These three girls were the first batch of women fighter pilots, and they were appointed as army officers in the Indian Army Air Forces in 2016. In the beginning, I have told about these three girls because before that the government was not sure whether to take women as fighter pilots or not. That's why they took it on the trial basis of 5 years. That means they were just making sure whether their decision will be right or not, and they took it for trial basis for 5 years. Yes, so in 1.4 million armed forces, approximately women are very small part. They are very small number, and that is why Avni's achievement and Avni's success is all that is very much respectful, and that would be remembered throughout everybody's. Avni says in next paragraph, Avni says this, that whenever she sits in the cockpit, here cockpit means a compartment made particular for the pilots and the crew member to handle the aircraft. So whenever she sits in the cockpit, she says that she is not taking or carrying any kind of feeling of achievement, and she leaves everything in the ground. Why? Because she has not taken her success on the head, because sitting in the aircraft, that too of fighter craft, she has to be focused. She can't think anything else about her success or empowerment. Here empower means a journey or process through which a person makes herself stronger or confident. The speed of jet is 700 km per hour. I just can't amazing this speed of jet. That is why Abni says that the time to react is so little, because the speed of the jet is very high and the time to react to any situation is very little. So with that they have to focused and remain alert, and that was the reason she leaves all her achievement on the ground and then she sits in the cockpit, because she need to be focused and she need to be alert at every situation whenever she is flying in the fighter jet. I hope you understood this paragraph. Now, what happened was that when Avni was preparing to take off, because usually it happened they have to practice for days and they had to practice on regular basis, so that's why when she was preparing to take off, one day she got warning, please abort your takeoff, and the person sitting inside the cockpit has to make the decision within a second, because there is no time to react, as she has already told before. That is why she decided quickly that she had to abort the takeoff. Why? Because it happened that the cockpit cover, it remained open. It was not closed properly. That is why she added, if she would have taken the decision late by mistake, she would taken off, so the result have been very bad. It would have been very disastrous. In order to become fighter pilot, they have to undergo for a training that is to for long period. So this process for training pilots, it is divided into 3 stages. In stage 1, these pilots have to practice a basic aircraft for 55 hours, that is 2.5 days approximately. And second stage, they had to practice 87 hours, that you can say approximately 3.5 days. Now they will be given an advanced jet. After this training, the trainer are separated to different stream, and this stage will decide that what they will be flying, whether they will be flying a helicopter, transport plane or fighter jet. For example, it is same like this, that we take out a merit list, and according to the in which they have to practice this flying for 145 hours, that is approximately you can say 6 days, with advanced trainer of regular hard work or practices will now make them a fighter pilot, and then they will become the officers of the fighter's jet. A type of aircraft will be given, that depends on the squadron, who the squadron decides. Here squadron is a small group of aircrafts, and that the people who fly them together as a team. So she told her experienced that from becoming jet trainer, MiG-21 Bison is a gradual and slow. So she started her advanced training in July 2016 and completed in October 2017. 1 year and 3 months of regular training. After that, she got posted to number 23 Squadron, which flies the MiG-21 Bison. After such training, it took 4 months more to go solo. Solo means she planned to fly the jet by all herself, and a time taken to fly a solo sortie. It depends to person, but how well the person is gaining knowledge or how the person is achieving goals. And she also added that the other women, they are also being trained and they would perform solo sortie soon. But Avni next goal, and her goal to become a full-fledged operational pilot, means completely developed or established, and we hope that she achieves her goals.